Reefs are the ocean's megacities. From neon glamour to grand austerity, they come in many varieties. The masses flock to the easy food and bright lights. But to enjoy the city, you must pay the tax. Predator and prey are crammed together. Around every corner, down every alley, a cutthroat, a robber, a mugger. It will be tough to survive the next 24 hours on these mean streets. On this November night, a year's worth of sexual tension is released. The warm water of Southern Hemisphere spring has ripened the eggs and sperm of corals. As the tide drops, it sucks the spawn away. Fertilized eggs might only travel a few hundred meters or hundreds of kilometers, each in search of some tiny, hospitable patch to call home. This is the Great Barrier Reef. Over 2,000 individual reefs stretch more than 2,000 kilometers. It is a magnet for life. But just away from the reef, in the vast lagoon it has created, it is like a desert. Sandy and featureless. Communities can gain no purchase. Then, an unnatural oasis. A reef in the form of a 100-year-old shipwreck is all it takes for life to explode once more. It is bathed in tropical sunlight and warmth. Its hull provides the solidity for corals to cling on. Strong currents bring a constant supply of plankton for the inhabitants. Small fish use the coral as cover. Where they gather, larger predators are never far behind. And where they go, even larger predators follow. Australia's warm water is essential for corals. But across the Pacific, in the Galapagos Islands, lies a very different kind of reef. Chilly, deep-water currents well up on volcanic rocks. The water is highly nutritious and inspires terrific growth. It might seem strange that such pastures of algae are not being grazed. But that's because the grazers are themselves quite strange. Marine iguanas have been warming their cold blood in the morning sun. With excess salt expelled through their nose and their optimal body temperature reached, they head for the sea. The females and smaller males stay on the rocks. The bigger males head out to the lush gardens on the submerged reef. The water is cold enough to kill most reptiles. Not all of the large males are here. Some have stayed behind on the rocks. They have territories to protect. And before the day is out, war will be declared. Cold water creates the most productive marine ecosystems. This is the case on America's Pacific coast. Frigid upwellings from the deep create a cathedral of kelp. Beneath its vault, the congregations feast. algal columns drop to a foundation of rocky seabed. But here dwells a devil with an appetite for destruction. Sea urchins can decimate a kelp forest. And if that happens, the whole ecosystem comes tumbling down. However, there is a savior. Sea otters love urchins. Without them, urchins would chop down the kelp forest. This makes otters the keystone species. A mother brings the urchin to her daughter. She has yet to learn how to hunt or protect her own meal. Her mother doesn't fend off the gull. She has come into season. It seems she has other plans for her day. A nearby rock looks covered in an unappealing film of goo. But each of these blobs of jelly is a clone belonging to one of two opposing armies. The gap between them, no man's land, frozen by the low tide. As the tide rises, they reveal themselves as sea anemones. There are two feuding families, a pink team and a green team. They face off. Within each family, the members are genetically identical. They are clones. Each anemone is formed by splitting from one original. The resulting army of clones behaves as if it were one huge animal. Like a cell in an embryo, each anemone has a job. Those in the middle are the reproducers. And like a protective outer skin, warrior anemones form a front line, heavily armed with stinging clubs. Both clone teams on this rock are seeking the destruction of the other. This is clone war. Each anemone will die for the team. Because they share genes, survival for one is like survival for all. Thousands of kilometers away, on tropical reefs, the corals are fighting the same kind of war. Close relatives of anemones, They are also locked in conflict with their neighbors. The front lines, easy to spot. The entire reef is a battlefield. One of the most competitive environments on Earth. This competition drives evolution, as animals develop ever more extreme adaptations to take command of small niches in the food web. But some niches are filled by cooperators rather than competitors. There are plenty of brave souls that profit by cleaning mouths, gills, teeth, and other hard-to-reach places of parasites and detritus. The olive sea snake possesses potent venom. So it has little to fear as it pokes its head into the reef to search for lunch. Though it is occasionally punished for its rudeness. But the olive does have one weakness. It must still breathe air. On the surface, it is vulnerable. Eagle eyes are watching. This time, the white-bellied sea eagle goes hungry. The olive can now hunt for over an hour after filling the specially adapted lung that runs almost the entire length of its body. One strike is all it takes. Paralysis soon takes effect. It uses its fangs to walk its way up the fish's body. One good meal will sustain the olive for some time. By noon, Australia's beaches are coloured pink. A sickly sweet scent hangs in the air. Slicks of egg and sperm from last night's spawning collect in the current. Billions upon billions of fertilized eggs die. Only a tiny fraction needs to survive. On the reef below, there is something wonderful and strange. And who knows how old? The hairy frogfish is taking his lunchtime stroll. He is dragging his wrinkled mass to a favorite spot. He settles down to watch the world go by. Everything about him seems old, except the glint in his eye, the same color as the sea. He casts out his lure. It mimics a distressed worm. There are many good fishermen, but this is a great one. In 6,000ths of a second, the illusion of decrepitude is shattered. With a full belly, he waddles home. But a misguided flatfish offers itself as dessert. Perhaps it was one course too many. For turtle-headed sea snakes, courtship is a sinuous dance. The female leads, while the darker male follows, mimicking her movements like a shadow. But their rhythm is interrupted. It seems that other males want to cut in. And the waltz descends into a wrestling match. The prize for victory will be access to the female. It's time for afternoon tea in New Zealand. The sea cucumber cleans plankton from its arm like honey from a finger. A snail rasps algae from a rock using a strip of teeth called a radula. Blue cod, looking for a meal, are faced by an armored phalanx of lobsters, safely fortified under a ledge. But one has broken away from the safety of numbers. The octopus is one of the top invertebrate predators. This one will soon lay eggs, and her short life is devoted to eating. Nearby, an older female's eggs are already close to hatching. The color-changing chromatophores are clearly visible. For her, the feast is over. She fasts as she guards her clutch. She has brooded them for around 50 days, living on her reserves. She jets water over the eggs to aerate them and gently cleans them with her arms. A blue cod takes an interest in octopus caviar. But Mum barricades her lair. The cod is repelled, but not for the last time. With the densest fur on the planet, sea otters may look cuddly. But lovemaking is less than tender. The male grabs the female by the nose to combat the surf. And perhaps rejection. By the time it's over, a fetus is not all she has to remember him by. For male marine iguanas, winning a breeding territory is the key to reproductive success. A lizard king claims his realm. The females are returning from grazing. As she walks up the beach, a smaller male tries his luck. Too puny to win territory, his tactic is to jump on the female. But she fends him off, only interested in males that have been bloodied in battle. Winning territory is how she knows his genes are strong. On the tropical reef, the extra turtle-headed sea snakes have dispersed. Only one male is left, vigorously nudging the female in a common, though little understood, mating behavior. With the long-awaited sex act finally imminent, the couple need one last breath before consummation. This snake will never bear her own young, but her body will nurture others. Blue feet. Super sexy. She likes what she sees. As soon as she begins to mimic his movements, he knows he's gotten lucky. Blue-footed booby courtship is certainly flashy. It leads up to a coupling that's over in a flash. These birds often partner for life. The problem is, this female already has a partner. While she cavorts, he is hard at work. If new chicks arrive, they may not be his own. a fish shoal has ventured onto the reef. Hundreds of boobies gather together. First, piercing calls. Then, a synchronized attack. Plunging in unison seems to overwhelm their prey. But as the birds chase the shoals inshore, they face treacherous undercurrents and hidden rocks. But the biggest hazard is the battering surf. The male's broken wing means slow and certain death. If the female lays eggs, the philandering male will not turn provider. Her chicks will have little chance of survival. For the baby octopuses, it is time to hatch. They begin their journey to adulthood. A journey only a few will complete. The tiny babies join the masses of other microorganisms that anchor the reef's food chain. Every night, all over the world, swarms of zooplankton take part in the largest migration on Earth. They ascend from the safety of the depths to feed. It's an enormous distance for such tiny creatures. Coral unfurls to catch them as they pass. These nightly feasts are crucial to a thriving reef. Making it just as vibrant during the hours of darkness. A host of new faces emerge to eat the plankton and each other. Midnight in the Caribbean. A sea of ghosts. Bioluminescent plankton have bloomed. When they are disturbed, they glow. It is beneath the water where the light show truly sparkles. Antennae glitter like magic wands. When they move, they disturb single-celled organisms called Noctiluca. Which is a favorite food of shrimp. They even continue to glow after they've been eaten. Noctiluca's sparkle seems to make it an easy victim. This seems like a strange survival tactic. A nearby cuttlefish might offer an explanation. It likes to eat shrimp, but can't find them in complete darkness. They are safe, so long as they stay still. But as soon as the shrimp moves, Noctiluca may be easy for its enemies to find. But its glow brings it powerful friends. The octopus is finally free of her maternal fast. She can leave the lair and eat. But she is desperately weak, and the cod seem to sense it. She was once the predator, but now lacks the strength to fight, or the speed to flee. Clouds of ink are a bitter distraction. The cod eventually disengage. She is exhausted and needs the respite. The mother has fulfilled her purpose. She has nothing more to give the reef but flesh. It will feed this young cannibal and the eggs she carries inside her. A coral larva has found a home. If it survives, it will grow into a polyp, then begin cloning itself, growing its own colony, and take its place on the reef. The Himalayas reach halfway to the stratosphere. But they surge not only skywards. For thousands of kilometers around, all of the inhabitants rely on the mountains. They create vast, silent desolation and spectacular, chaotic fertility. What happens in the next 24 hours is at the whim of the Himalayas. Each morning, a Tibetan wolf proclaims his domain. The greatest mountain range on Earth. The Himalayas are a crumple zone caused by the collision of two tectonic plates. The force of the impact has thrust up the world's highest peak, 9 kilometers. If you fell from this height, it would take 2.5 minutes to hit the ground. Only very special animals can survive here. Birrell are mountain sheep that forage 5 kilometers high. Late spring has brought fresh grazing to these slopes. This is a herd of females, many of them pregnant. The plentiful food appears to inspire playfulness. But these games have an audience. Wolves prefer to hunt in the open, where they can wear down their prey. These slopes are the Birrell's domain. But the heavily pregnant females are not as mobile as usual. The wolf's clumsy pursuit sends the Birrell onto the cliffs where he can't follow. He lacks the agility to kill here. The cliffs are where the Birrell are most at home. Short legs bring the center of gravity closer to their soft, rubbery soles, perfect for grip. Hollow hair fibers retain heat, part of a coat that is perfect camouflage. But there is a predator here that is equally well adapted to this vertical world. The snow leopard. In the deafening silence, any false move will give him away. But with heads down, the Birrell are vulnerable. The cat approaches from above. He has gravity on his side. Predators require persistence. He melts back into the mountain to try again. The rising spring sun brings a thin warmth to the upper slopes. This unlocks the treasures held within the Himalayan ice. Trickles of mineral-rich water combine to form streams that eventually form cascades. Carving great gorges through the mountains. One of the Himalayas' great rivers is the Brahmaputra and its massive floodplain. This is some of the most fertile land in India. Without the Himalayas, these plains would probably be a desert. Instead, they support huge populations of creatures. Small and great. The annual monsoon has not yet arrived, and the multitude of lakes are shrunken. Wallowing space here is at a premium. It's done nothing for the mood of the usually solitary rhinoceroses. A troubling scent is in the air. Adult elephants circle around a young calf. It can only mean one thing. The Royal Bengal tiger is the top predator here. A mother rhino hurries her calf away. She needn't worry for her child. There is more appealing prey nearby. This morning, the meadows are electric with excitement. It's mating season for the cheetal deer. The competing stags are wide-eyed on a surge of testosterone. They paw the ground, dig up grass with their antlers, and display, strutting side by side. If that doesn't work, they fight. This male is in prime condition. He moves through the herd, sniffing the air, searching out receptive females. The preoccupation of the stags is good news for predators. This young male dominates his area. And now, he can feast. This spring's birrel lambs are beginning to appear on the mountains. The infants form nursery groups. If they are to survive, birrel lambs must quickly learn to be at home on the cliffs. The mother places herself between her child and the drop. Despite the best efforts of their mothers, half the lambs die in their first 2 years. The lambs are easy killing, but they are not what the snow leopard has his eye on. An adult female moves closer to the cliffs for safety. She is sick, exhausted, or injured. And the snow leopard is the Himalayas version of healthcare. The warmth and fertility of the lowlands allows the rhinos to breed all year round. This female is laying down a seductive urine trail. More than 1,500 meters away, a bull has picked up her scent. For the male rhino, finding the female is only the beginning. Her initial reaction is intimidating. But her aggression is part of the courtship ritual. The next step is a long chase. Her way of testing his mettle. She sets the pace. He must follow. He must prove his stamina before she allows him to mate. The Tiger King approaches. His subjects give him the proper respect. And herald his arrival. Failure to do so can be punished by death. He is making no attempt to conceal himself. His hunger is already satisfied, and his sights are set on a simple drink of water. This is the first year of the young king's reign. He has defeated all pretenders. But uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. There is one that has evaded his attention. This old male is his grandfather. He once ruled, but those days are long gone. Weak and half blind, a putrefying corpse is his meal. Submerging it removes at least some of the smell and the flies. The young king makes no allowances for decrepitude. He will hunt any rival. The cries of the forest are like a locator beacon the king can follow. Grandfather can't hide forever. The peacock mating season is at its peak. The ostentatious display is designed to attract the attention of females. But he's not to everybody's taste. This happens every year, just before the monsoon arrives. There is a smell of rain in the air, and the peacock's tail shimmers as if in excitement. Rhino coupling can last for more than an hour. If the mating is successful, in 16 months, she will give birth. In the distance, rain clouds gather. The female is tiring under the weight of her mate and is trying to dislodge him. As the morning advances, storm clouds build. Here, the monsoon will dump over 1.5 meters of rain in the next 5 months. But the secret to this annual event lies on the other side of the Himalayas. The Tibetan plateau is bigger than France. It was once seabed, and now sits higher than the Rocky Mountains, pushed skywards by the same collision that created the Himalayas. It is a different world. Very little rain falls here, and its altitude keeps it freezing for most of the year. The animals here have a lot to cope with. This is Tibet's subspecies of brown bear. He is a timid creature, a little bit scruffy, not at all like his distinguished companion. The Tibetan fox certainly has the haughty look of royalty. And he treats the bear very much like the help. They hunt a relative of the rabbit called a pika. The ground is usually frozen. The bear has the strength to dig out the pikas. As the bear does the heavy lifting at one end of the burrow, the fox is at the other. Ready to reap the reward. The fox doesn't offer anything to his man Friday. When he's eaten his fill, he digs down to store his leftovers for later. He's accumulating his wealth. As the midday sun beats down on the usually frozen plateau, the heat rises. This creates a vast, low-pressure system that sucks air all the way from the Indian Ocean. Laden with moisture, it is drawn towards the plateau, but the Himalayas are an impenetrable barrier. It condenses into rain. It mostly falls in the lowlands, combining with the tropical sun to create a hothouse of growth. High up the mountains, the rain clouds are far below. It's as if nothing has changed. The snow leopard has killed the wheat-birrel. The cat starts on the liver and kidneys. The smell of blood soon attracts a red fox and magpies. The scavengers have no chance against the cat. But they have an ally who is much more powerful. The leopard is no match for the heat of the tropical sun. Thick fur designed for freezing temperatures can quickly lead to heat stress. He wants to get the carcass under the shade of the crags above. But it is too heavy to drag. Eventually, the allure of the cool shadows wins out. But the scavengers do not have long before the cat returns. Lower down the mountain, the wolf's day of hunting has ended in failure. But he must eat. He returns to the stashed remains of an old kill. He has mouths to feed. His partner rarely hunts. She stays close to the den. Their 7 pups are now spending much of the day outside. She must stand guard. The pups play to build the strength and coordination they'll require for hunting, and to establish pack hierarchy. They have voracious appetites. But they're still too small to rip meat away from bone. The male has already chewed and partly digested their meal for them. By licking at their father's mouth, the pups invite him to deliver. Meat is so precious here. As the afternoon wears on, predators will go to greater extremes to get it and protect it. In the hot afternoon, a tiger cub has found a quiet pool. The water's tested, another joins. Then another. 4 cubs is a big litter. Their ever-vigilant mother must be a great hunter. But something seems to trouble the mother. She leads the cubs away. Sure enough, the old male has picked up her scent. He will kill the cubs if given a chance, and mate with their mother. It seems there is life in the old cat yet. She leads her cubs to the den and calls them inside. They seem to instinctively appreciate the danger. Testing the air, she picks up the male's scent. The mother leaves a urine trail to lead the old male away. She successfully draws him to a waterhole, hundreds of meters from the cave. By the time he arrives, the tigress has already slipped away. The old male is easily misled. The young king is harder to fool. The corpse of a cub lies before him. The tigress returns to the cave and calls for her children. Only 2 survive. Infanticide is Mother Nature's brutal solution to the problem of inheritance. Only males strong enough to protect their territories are guaranteed to produce offspring. Should the male eventually wipe out the whole litter, the mother will come back into season and mate with him. He is strong, and strength is what counts. Sentiment has little value in the jungle. The afternoon has cooled enough for the snow leopard to return to his kill. The scavengers make a final bid to store some food for later. The heat is still too much, but the meat is so precious, the leopard eats. It seems the scavengers have done him a favor. They have lightened the load just enough. The snow leopard begins the exhausting process of dragging the carcass to a safe place in the shade, where he will feast for days. Marmot burrows honeycomb a sunny slope. Their diggings and droppings encourage grass growth. Despite the risk from predators, they spend most of the day above ground. Marmots hibernate during the winter, so must pack a year's eating into half that time. Marmot battles are more ritual than fight. These rodents are a crucial food source for the local predators. An eagle can spot a marmot more than 1.5 kilometers away. Defenseless alone, marmots have a group warning system. The marmots waste no time in getting back out on the grass. The death of one ensures the temporary safety of the colony. The adult eagle feeds the dominant chick until it can eat no more. Only then will it feed its sibling. Usually, the younger chick dies from hunger and harassment by its elder. But so far, prey is plentiful, and both chicks get enough. Golden eagles have nested on this ledge for more than 100 years. Perhaps one reason is its proximity to the marmot colony. The long-eared hedgehog is an animal of irrepressible ambition. She's not satisfied with spring bugs. above, delicious eggs hang tantalizingly close. But her ambition is greater than her agility. The spines on her back cushion her fall. She is not discouraged by failure. But maybe she should play to her strengths. Big ears pluck the sound of a potential meal out of the night. A curious nose picks up the trail. But her eyes are almost no use. She often bumps into things before she sees them. And you don't want to bump into a Central Asian pit viper. Their venom is deadly to small animals. But not the hedgehog. She's resistant to the snake's venom. The one thing that matches her ambition, her appetite. The dark is pierced by the sound of conflict. It seems that the young Tiger King has finally caught up with his grandfather. Daylight reveals the old male's fate. He is still alive, but perhaps that is worse than the alternative. Infection and starvation are what await him. This cave will be his final resting place. But his legacy lives on in his murderer. His grandson is unchallenged. He will father many children. The Himalayas do not reward the weak, only the strong, the ruthless, the ferocious, the successful.